Hey everybody, what's going on? We're here for the December edition of the Closing Table. We are live and we're having a party because you know what? It's party time. It's December. Woo-hoo! It's time for the holidays, time for New Year's, time for Christmas and fresh beginnings and family. And we have family here today. We got the man, the myth, the legend, and the core of the show right there with the orange of NextHome Brandywine and NextHome in general behind him. Dan from NextHome Brandywine. What's going on, Dan?
What's going on, everybody? We had a nice chat before we joined live. It's been very busy, so I literally had to hustle up here from Fallcroft to join, and looking forward to it.
Well, we are also joined for the first time this month by this person next to me.
Hello, everyone.
My other half. People might know us as Coco Bay. But this is truly the one and only.
It is me.
Coco Warbucks. She does exist. She's alive. She's not a paper statue.
She's not like Columbo's wife.
And I'm representing Johnny Depp. Thank you.
Look at that.
There you go. And returning this month, truly another. We had a nice conversation. Well, we have a nice conversation every day, but we had a very deep, interesting conversation the other day, and. I was telling this guy, I think you truly have become one of my best friends. And his name is Hub, and he's out in Dallas, Texas. And I said this to Dan last month. I think last month's episode with Hub was definitely my best or my favorite episode. And I think it was our best episode overall.
I think Hub brings a diverse offering. And, you know, I thought I appreciated having you on, and we were talking about this subject tonight with the social media marketing. And Hub's always nice enough to lend his ear and a hand and information to you, just out of courtesy. You know, we don't have to do that. And Hub sent us some great stuff on social media. And I said, Hub, why don't you join us again this month? He's a very intelligent guy and a master on a lot of different subjects. So, and he's always listened to the program from day one. So, we're going to have him on from time to time because I think he lends a lot. He's very articulate and lends a lot to what we're doing.
He's like the new executive advisor.
Yeah, he reminds me. Who was Johnny Carson's assistant? He's going to be on the couch. Who was that guy?
Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon. That's it. I think he started Ed McMahon now. He's our new Ed McMahon over here.
I owe it all to you guys. I owe it all to you, and I want to thank the Academy.
So quickly on the real estate front, and this has to do with a lot of things too, and even when we talk about social media, you know, the news media is very negative, and people love negative news. There's been more, and I follow a lot, and Hub does as well. We kind of try to get a cross section of what's going on and see what people are talking about. There's been a ton of negative, like the sky's going to fall under the real estate market. Mm-hmm. This is my 17th year. I think I'm going on 18 next year. This is the busiest, and some years are busier than others, depending on the weather up here, as you know, because our weather gets sketchy. This is the busiest stretch here in late December that I've seen. We literally have 5 deals going in January. I just booked another deal today. So I don't know. What we're seeing right here in the Philadelphia 5-county region versus what's going on nationally may be different. And I know I talked to people in Florida and all, they're doing really well right now. So things are still strong. Prices are still up a little higher than I would have thought they would be. Interest rates are moderating a little bit. DeForge, Homebridge, who was on with us for all your mortgage needs. We seem to be, buyers are still buying if they find the properties they want. And they will go in a little bit of a higher interest rate right now, maybe have a little bit of higher payment with the thought process that the trend seems to be that the interest rates are going to go down and we're going to have some people refi. But if they find inventory that they want, they're buying it. And one last thing, the consumer's being a little more discerning right now. And I think this all ties into our subject matter this month. A little more discerning with what they want. A lot of people are not going to pay top dollar for stuff that has not been touched in 30, 40 years. And we're seeing a lot of that where people are slapping a number on it and just trying to sell stuff that had a lot of deferred maintenance, and they're not getting it. The consumer says just too high. The numbers are too high. I have to put too much work into it. So we're seeing a little bit of that, but we're very busy. I mean, So I'll tell you this real quick. We had a longtime friend of mine. I used to work for them. I grew up with the family. I noticed online that they listed the house. They didn't list with me. They listed with somebody else. And I sold the house today. So probably the best. They listed with me and I sold it for them because Dan sells Fallcroft. So everybody watching, Dan Pizzi's your Fallcroft guy. He's your Glen Olden guy. He's your Southern Delco guy. I do all 5 counties, but I'm intimately involved with that market and I'll sell it. So they put it up and I picked up the phone. I called my buddy, said, it's sold. I got it sold for. I sent over the paperwork. I said, next time, pick up the phone. Dan Pizzi, NextHome, Brandywine. I'll make a deal with you. We'll get you a good commission rate. We'll sell your house. We don't stop hustling. I mean, we just don't. And I've driven probably 400 miles in the last 3 days to get deals done right up against Christmas. So we're engaged, as my old executive used to say, Imran Pilati. We're engaged and we hustle. And now what we're going to talk about here is we're going to grow this thing this year with the help of some of these people that are on with us tonight. We're going to talk about how to grow business with social media marketing, both in marketing and advertising, and how social media ties in. So Coco Bay has a lot of they have their own social media channels, their social media influencers, and Hub is an astute guy that takes a look at this stuff and kind of pulls out of what Hub we talked about. Let's start there real quick, Hub, about the folks that you sent me some videos on that are they're in I guess Texas and California, and they do social media influencing videos for the real estate market.
Yeah, and Christina Smallhorn is in Louisiana, but she actually doesn't do local so much. What she does is a nationwide show and like really large topics. And what's really easy for her is that she does a live stream every week. And most of the time when she does do a live stream, she has another real estate agent on with her, and they talk about their area. So she's got somebody on from Dallas or somebody on from San Diego or Austin, and she's in Louisiana. But she didn't grow up in Louisiana. She grew up all over the country because she was an Army brat.
Okay.
But yeah, but she's got a very, very versatile channel. Did you look at that at all?
I did. I've seen a couple of things that you sent over, and I got to refresh myself on some of that. But some of the topics and the presentation is what kind of draws you to some of their content.
Well, it has to be that because you've got to have it to where it's there's so much competition in this that there's everybody that works for Keller Williams or whatever has a good YouTube channel. There's a lot of really good content out there. So it has to be entertaining first. And no matter what city they move to, they'd be able to do a channel in that city.
Wow.
So,
another thing, I just want to throw this in.
Yeah, let's bring you in, Coco, on this.
I forget. But you know what I learned I watch Gary Vee a lot. Do you guys know Gary Vee? He's like a motivational speaker. He also was a reseller. But one thing I noticed from just like studying all these videos on TikTok, on YouTube, if you can provide value or teach someone while entertaining, like that is key. People want to learn things. Like that's one of the most videos that I get a lot of views on, or something that I'm teaching them. Like how to just say for my channel, like how to clean jewelry. And it had like thousands of hits. But also, like Hub said, being entertaining at the same time, like keeping the audience engaged. Sometimes like on TikTok, each platform too, like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, they're all different audiences. So you have to be.
This is a great point. So
yeah,
elaborate on that a little bit, Coco. In fact, like again, the diversification for me, I can go to every segment. So where you're targeting different platforms would be a different demographic per se, different target market for us.
Right. So like TikTok, very short, quick, like sometimes the sillier the better, but also peppering in a little bit of knowledge for people.
So Coco, real quick on that. Yeah. Talk about the time.
The amount.
Yeah, how do you hold people's attention, and how the understanding of how much time we should these clips should be, these shorts per se.
It should never be more than a minute for TikTok or Instagram or like Twitter. It should be really ideally, or the YouTube shorts. I noticed if it's over 15 seconds, it's not going to get as many views. All my 15-second videos get thousands of views, and sometimes they're not even anything. It's like we have one where it's a filter where our heads look big, and it has like 13,000 views in like a half hour. So,
but it's not that educational. But I'll give you credit, Coco, because you are really good at making those shorts.
The only reason why I do it is to get it. See, when I do the shorts that are stupid, then it gives us more subscribers, and then they watch our other informative videos.
Let me ask you this: do you think it's your presence, because you have a very strong, positive presence when you're on these? I likable, is that has something to do with it? I mean, the way you present yourself as far as the entertainment value in not only the content but your own personal presentation in the videos.
I try that, but also there's so many more that I want to do. I have scripts written out that I'm going to do for the new year, but Bay really is not a fan. I have to force him. I'm like, you're doing this. This is going to be popular. And he's like,
I'll be sitting here working. She'll come in. She's like, we have trends to do. And I'm just like, oh no.
He hates it. Oh, no. But I make him do it.
Danny and I watch a hockey channel, where my son Danny and I watch this channel where the guy does list. And he even says he seems to get a lot. Yeah, and when we can talk about that, Hub and Coco, about he seems to have like the five best arenas.
Yep.
Like 5 worst logos in all of sports. That seems to draw a ton to the channel.
It does. I was going to bring that up, by the way. Yeah, lists
are
huge.
Big.
Yeah, but see,
lists. What?
You're going to have to do, and it's going to, I mean, I don't know how to make it work because of the time factor of being able to put these videos together. But the key would be to have a live stream and then make clips out of the live stream.
Yeah.
Because that would, and it's going to have to, it can't be a short thing, because the real estate thing is so competitive that you got to have some educational going. It's actually more important because there's some people, and I'm going to quote Bay right here, some of these people on YouTube are mind-numbingly boring. And so, but they still got lots of views because people are there to get educated.
Right.
So that, and they might not even, I've heard that it's something like 20% of the people, or maybe even a third of the people, don't even understand humor very much. They don't understand. So they don't even, they're really not even there for the education. I mean, for the entertainment at all. They're for the education.
Right. Yeah. Like when
that, in this kind of thing, that would be, to me, I think the thing that's going to work. But you got to think about it as time consuming, because you're not going to, at this point, from what I see, unless you can prove me wrong, you're not going to be able to do heavily edited videos like Living in Orange County. I don't know if you guys watched that, but I sent them to him, and they are absolutely fantastic.
I want to send them there. That's what we were speaking to before we came live. The Living in Orange County.
Yeah. What do you think, Dan? Wouldn't you say they're about a 9 or a 10 in quality?
Yeah, and they do a lot of good editing. And I follow these folks that target Las Vegas, and they do really good videos. The husband was in the business and is an excellent editor, and that helps them. I think too, what Coco mentioned, I like to go back to the diversification of the different platforms and how they would play for different market segments, different businesses. Talking about TikTok, it seems what I've been talking to people in our region is, even my brother-in-law, he's probably listening. He loves it. He loves TikTok. Now he's a 2 master's degrees, 3-degree guy, highly intelligent, loves the TikTok. So and he likes the information and the fun of how it's presented.
Yeah, I mean, I love TikTok because there are, like, I've been doing, just, this is not real estate, but I've been doing cooking videos, and I've been challenged with cutting them down because the longest you can do on TikTok is 3 minutes. So you can do that once in a while. And I like when I do the cooking video, there's like 40 minutes of cooking and talking, and I cut it down to like 2 minutes and 50 seconds. But the cooking videos, I just did it to see, because I just experiment with all different things like comedy, cooking, jewelry selling. But the cooking is also blowing up. People are like going crazy over TikTok for the recipes. So it's a matter of trial and error too, I think. And I have a wide range of audience on TikTok is what I like. A lot of people think that TikTok is just like for kids, but there's a lot of people my age on there. And like I told you, I don't think Hub heard this, but did Bay send you, Hub, my dad's TikTok? Did you send it?
No, but he sends me a lot of videos. Frankie
My
Legend.
dad-
He's quite a guy, this guy.
I started a TikTok for him. So because there's a woman on TikTok, just for instance, her name is Nona Gracie. Her grandson started her TikTok. She does recipes in 1 minute. She just shows what she cooks at home. She has 1.4 million followers. And she's like,
and she has zero personality.
yeah, it's just like,
because everybody loves to eat.
yeah.
So we're all going to fly to Hub's place, breakfast, and we're going to do a live cooking show.
But
It'd be great. We got plenty of room.
All right, that sounds great.
Come on down, as Bob Barker would say.
Where's the big roller to make sure there's no hair and all? That's my favorite.
Well, that's I brought some hot cactus here, so I'd never tried. Have you tried this, Bay? Hot cactus?
What
No.
do we got here?
Ooh.
It's pickled cactus. I'm still trying it out. I don't eat it one time and say I don't like it. I have to eat it a few times to see how much I'm going to like it.
All right, you know what we're going to do, Coco? We're going to do a video with Hub with pickled cactus.
I like it.
I never even heard
You
of
know
that.
how many views we'd get for that? I'm not even
Well,
kidding.
You know what's funny?
It's Mexican.
Yeah, you know what? We have a lot of Mexican grocery stores nearby. I have to look for it. We got a couple.
Yeah, well,
good
this
ones.
is the best, but I don't know, being up from up north, you guys eat okra at all. But I'm telling you, this pickled okra is amazing.
Ooh.
It is.
I think it's better than actual pickles.
Oh wow, pickled okra. That sounds
I
good.
love this guy, Bay. I don't know where
Hey,
he
Bay
found him.
doesn't seem too hot on it.
Yeah, why not Bay? You said okra.
Well,
You know what?
That's right.
Bay's pretty quiet
I
today.
know.
I
I'm
don't know
so
if I was supposed to get into this, but this is jalapeno relish. It's a little bit sweet, but it's Cajun.
Ooh.
Look at this.
See, if you did a TikTok of all that, you'd get thousands of views in like 2
Sponsored
seconds.
by NextHomeBrandywine.com. There you go.
Maybe
Yes.
we're getting more views just right now from watching this right now.
And
Yeah.
what we'll do is when we sell a house, we'll send them a pickled special. How's that?
Yeah, that's very good.
Recommended by Hub Ridgell Pickled Specialty. Bay knows how to find people like nobody else. I mean, that's basic.
Hey, Hub found me. He found me. It's a good 6-7 years, and it's just that it was a friendship that started slow, but over the last 3 years has picked up big time, and I think especially in the past year, like I said, I mean, we've become like best friends.
You know what's nice? We can grow a relationship, and it's he's really been a friend to the show. He sends me stuff. He's a guy that I say that today people don't care about others; they only care for themselves. A lot of people, but Hub's not that guy. Hub always going to help you, and there's some qualities in people, and that's we always talk about the humans over houses with NextHome, and that's part of what we're going to get into with our marketing. We're not just we're from Philly, so we're very, very curmudgeon-y. It's a no until you prove us a yes, right? So it's a little bit of a rough spot. When I bought the franchise, like Hub said, he has to taste them a few times.
Right.
It's the same thing with the franchise. We really did our research, and you can talk all you want, but once you get into it and you see the quality of our organization and how they really stand behind the words, which a lot of people don't. So, I mean, that's something that we want to try to bring out to our clients and new clients over some of these social media platforms. And until they try it, like Hub talking about the food, they don't know if they'll like it or not because they've been pushed with so much stuff over the years with real estate, so many different companies.
Right.
But if you go on that humansoverhouses.com and all, our company, and from the I can call the owner right now. It's 700 offices, and if you don't pick up, he'll get right back to me. It's a really nice group from the top down, and I think the diversity of products and services. This is some of the things we want to show people to see how we differentiate. Hub and you, I think, Coco made a comment about there's so many different people doing this. Every industry is saturated, even the social media. Right? So how do you differentiate yourself and your brand and get brand awareness, right? Which is going to be big for us from using the social media sites. Coco, you want to elaborate on that? Kind of.
Yeah. Well, one big key is consistency. You have to post. Really, you should be posting 4 times a day. I've done this as an experiment on the different platforms. And I've done it, like, if you do it every day consistently at the same times, you get more hits.
Can you get into the times? Because I know that people say it's very important to post at certain times when the majority of the people are looking at these different platforms. Can you get into a little bit of that as far as the times, and maybe Hub can jump in on that discussion as well?
Yeah. Do you want to go first, Hub? Do you want me to? I'm
going to let you go first, but I'm not exactly sure if I understood the question.
You know, they say when you post, Hub. So if I post at 6 in the morning, I might not get as many views as if I post at 6 at night or 8 at night. I noticed, Coco, that I seem to get alerts and updates later at night, 7, 8 o'clock, and then when people may be winding down and looking at that stuff.
That's true. And then also I've noticed for YouTube, I've been experimenting. Whenever I do anything on YouTube, a short, if I put it up between 10 p.m. and midnight, blows up. Just the shorts. But also Friday, like anytime, like if you do it after like 8 o'clock in the morning, not really that great for posting. Saturday, Sunday night, but like Friday and Saturday is not really like the best times because I guess people are out or whatever. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays are amazing. Like from 7 o'clock on, I've noticed that's like my most popular day is Wednesday for some reason when I post from 7 p.m. on. But Fridays are like the least active day I've noticed over like the past couple of months. Just like watching Fridays. And what about you, Hub? Do you
Do you notice that, Hub, at certain times of day, better content?
I would think the first thing would be having better content than any other thing, and then the second thing would be having a consistency of posting. And let's say you post once. If you post, you probably should. The more the better, maybe. As long as there's high quality in the videos you're posting, because the people are going to want to tune back in. And there's a guy that talks about this. I'll send you guys the video about it. But he's huge on the quality and not the consistency. Because
not consistency. I think both.
No.
Right?
What? I'm sorry.
I think both. Like the consistency definitely is important too.
That's what I know. It sounds contradictory, but that's what he was saying. And to a point, he has a point to me, but it also doesn't make any sense at the same time.
Right, but he might be looking at some analytics that's proven his point. Even maybe it might be a backwards thought. It's proven his point to where, hey, this is what I see getting results.
He's a content creator channel, and he's saying that if you have a high content, like there's a channel I watch called New England Wildlife, and it's only this guy that opens up old cans of food and shows you what's in them. It's really strange, and but he's so unusual that it's interesting because he tells you the history of the canned food. It's just really and old food, and he doesn't even post that much, but whenever he has a video, I'll watch it because it's just so weird. It's kind of a guy topic.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, I come from the background of being a music instructor, and obviously, if you have somebody that comes the same day every week for a lesson, it's extremely important that they come every week at the same time, because they get in the habit of coming that same time.
Right. Expecting,
but nothing trumps the quality of the lesson. If my
Right.
quality is really, really good, then they're going to come back. And I think there's a good parallel there. What do you think, Dan?
No, I agree. I agree. I want you to guess what instrument I played. I bet you nobody can get it. It's a very rare orchestra instrument.
You played the harp.
The French horn. The French
Oh.
horn. Not many people play. Anybody be familiar with it, Hub?
Cool.
There's a joke about that French horn. The guy was, yeah.
What is it?
A guy was playing the French horn, and his toupee fell in the horn, and he blew his top.
I thought we were going to have to hit the dump button bay on that one, but Hub kept it clean. Yeah, that's a great point on the consistency of them coming. I used to go for French horns lessons every week, same time. And I think people get in a routine. And when you mess up I have a somewhat autism, and those kids are very much structured in a routine that really helps them. When you break the routine, and I think that can be said for a lot of people. That's what we talked about, the timing of the post, the different platforms, where to post. Because I think once people get used, I follow this guy on, I love Las Vegas. So I follow these Las Vegas bloggers and these influencers, and they've grown their brand. It took time. I have a guy that's a retired guy, and he moved to Vegas, and he walks, and he shows you the strip, and he does different things. But I think I joined him when he had 8 subscribers, and I think the guy's up about 9,000 now. So he's really grown his channel just through content and consistency. It's nothing earth-shattering, but we like the guy, we like the content, and he keeps it short, 20 minutes. So I think it does for us too. People have to like you. Like Coco, you're very likable, right? So you come across as affable. I think if they don't like the person that's right, Hub, am I right?
Yeah.
Like you gotta there's gotta be a draw. Like we're not.
Sometimes hating people is good too, because you want to be liked or hated, because people will watch you. I think even more if they hate you. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be like nobody remembers you. It's better to be loved.
We were talking about Edge. He went from a bad guy to a good guy. It's kind of me and Bay are wrestling guys. So it goes for us, a lot of stuff goes back to wrestling. But that's the truth. Like you can get a different audience. Like they do that with wrestlers. They go from the bad guy to the good guy, and it draws a whole new audience and a whole new content for the individual. But it's the same person, right? So, I used to watch real quick. I used to watch WCW, NWA Wrestling, Jim Crockett Promotions. It was the same 20 guys for 4 years, 5 years. And they just mixed up the shtick, the presentation, who was fighting who. But we liked the people, and we were drawn toward the content, right? And what we were getting out of it, right? For us, it was the entertainment value.
Well, it's like if you saw with the Howard Stern when they did the Private Parts movie, and they were going through his era when he worked at NBC, and they were trying to get rid of him, and the executives are like, they had the reports, and they said in the morning when he's on, people listen to him that love him on their drive for 5 minutes, and they asked the people why, and they said the number one reason is we want to see what he's going to say or do next. Then they said the people that hate him listen for 10 minutes. And the number one reason is because they want to see what he's going to say or do next. So sometimes it's actually a scary thought to be hated is just as good as to be loved.
What do you think about that, Hub?
I think if you're somebody like him who's sort of notoriously phenomenal like that, that would be guys like that, him, Rush Limbaugh, all those guys are sort of exceptions to everything. But if you're on a local radio station, they have a saying, because I used to hang out with a guy who worked in radio, and they had a thing called the LQ, and that would be for regular local personalities, and they would call that LQ stands for likability quotation. It's like really important because they want to feel like you're their neighbor. In that case, but I think for iconic, gigantic personalities, I think either both are good. And even local guys generate a lot of irritation with people, but they still got to have people who think of them as their hometown boy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Bay?
Oh, I agree. I totally agree.
So I was pulling some data here at the last minute, and there was a question posed here on let's see if I can give him credit here. Is it called Live Streaming Studio? It says, oh, Bay, it's from StreamYard, Bay. It's from StreamYard.
Okay.
Yeah. So, how is social media marketing different from social media advertising? Any thoughts on that? Like advertising on Facebook versus, I mean, so to me, the marketing aspect is more brand awareness, like product awareness, stuff like that, versus the advertising side where you're putting money into it to promote a product, let's say. So let's talk about that for a minute. I found that interesting. Some of the benefits with social media marketing, and then the difference between that and the social media advertising. What do we think? Like, pay, for example, I can do a boosted post on Facebook and pay to get it sent out there. And you can kind of pick your zip codes, demographic, target market, neighborhood, stuff like that. I find that it doesn't always work as far as your target and what you're trying to get. I get some stuff that's.
Have you ever tried it, Dan?
I did. And
Okay.
even some of the stuff I get, and it's $5. So I can do like 500. It would go to 500 different, people's Facebook pages or whatever, for the ad would go there for $5 or $10. And you can kind of set up the parameters of it. I find that I get stuff that the content isn't relevant to me in my market. And I know someone paid for that content. I'm like, well, this is a waste because we don't have that particular brand or product in our marketplace, So I'm noticing some of that is skewed. Is it better just do organic content and then place it on these different platforms? And then, like Coco said, hopefully it catches on, and some of it's the algorithm as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The whole paying, like I've heard people who have been successful with it.
You have?
But I hear more people that are not successful with it. I know from my own personal experiences when I've tried doing stuff for events that I've done, or where I was trying to market, either my old radio show, or just even trying to get more likes to my Facebook page. I never got anything out of it, especially when I was doing live events. I never got anything out of it.
Same thing. We did that with the Liberty All-Star Wrestling, and I would boost the post, but I don't think it helped with attendance or target market. And then
Right.
Go ahead, Hub.
I wanted to make an analogy. What you got to think about, okay, what you want to do is to do some shorts with Coco Bay, okay? Is that right?
Yeah, and like this was a broader topic, but yeah. So my company, NextHome Brandywine, like we said, we're looking to grow. I'm bringing in Coco Bay as some social media experts to help us and lend a hand to helping us grow our business and our brand awareness. And they're going to be, part of my extended professional team here moving forward. We did have a social media marketing young lady that worked with us and moved and kind of got a job, and she was an intern for us. So we kind of turned the page there, and we needed to do more content stuff. And I just love what Coco Bay brings and their influence in what they do. So that's kind of how they started. I said, let's do a broader show on the subject. We'll bring Hub in because everyone's interested in this subject, the social media.
Well, what do you think about live stream and then making clips out of the live stream? Because
Coco, what do you think about? I know you haven't done that. What's your thought on that?
I think that's a great idea. The thing that really I wish is that I could be with you and your agents there live together. You know what I mean? But I was telling Dan earlier, Hub, that I have a bunch of ideas, like using green screens, and like I really want to see. They don't have a TikTok. So I want to see, I've been researching last night. I was looking at other real estate people on there. So that's a thing now that's happening. A lot of real estate people are creating TikToks for their agencies.
And I have a good friend that does very good business, and she has a master's in marketing. but
Yeah.
she's really using TikTok to her advantage. Even like when she enters the house and she puts the words up, and it's just a quick, like you said, it's just a quick hit. But then she takes that and spreads it over the different platforms.
Right.
So it's diversified. And I think we could start looking at some data analytics for people. So everyone's looking to try to grow a brand to a reasonable spend, right? So we're on a limited budget. We're a small boutique firm, national firm. But so how do you diversify? And we've had speakers at our conferences speak to this. You were talking about Gary Vaynerchuk earlier. Is that who you were talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Coco, yeah. And I know. And Gary spoke at one of our events.
Wow.
And we've had quite a few big time. We had the Bailey guy from Disney. We've had some big Mark Eaton, who passed away. Actually, he was a big time influencer and used to play for the Utah Jazz. But some of the similar. How do you differentiate your brands, right? How we talk about those folks' channel and the content level that they bring, and kind of how they kind of try to separate themselves from the competition with the information they're putting out there.
Well, I just want to say. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I just say one more thing? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I agree with Hub though, as far as like I also want to do videos with you talking about what the buyer should be looking for and why they should care about who their broker is and who their agent is, and like when they go into a house, what should they be looking at? Like definitely do serious ones too.
Let's talk about that real quick when coming over to the real estate side. So when I go into properties for people, because most people are on limited budget, so when they buy the house, they don't have a boatload of cash sitting back there to fix it when they go in. So what I do for them is I look at things that I think they're not going to look for. I look at the roof, right? I see from a visual what I can see. What does that now? This doesn't circumvent an inspection, but I'm just doing a surface visual to tell them, hey, get a professional, but this is what I see. I'm not an expert in these areas, but this is what I see. I look at the hot water heater, the air conditioner. How old are they? What kind of conditioner in? Do they look like they were serviced? Are they full of dirt and grime from someone's basement that's dusty and dirty? I look at different things like that so I can lend them a hand and say, look, on the surface, we're going to do an inspection, this and that, but it looks like a solid house you're buying. And I'll tell you another thing about differentiating the realtors. So I had my clients looking in Ridley Park. Well, I'm a Southern Delco expert. I know everything that went up. I know everything that's sold because I do my research. So there's a house. I own a house in that same neighborhood, actually, one of our investments. So I bring my guy in. I see the price. I know the comps in the area. I put the offer in, older agent, long-time agent, Century 21 agent. We get the deal. We get the deal for a couple reasons. The seller saw me and my buyers there, and they liked us. And I helped the guy change the lock on the door. He didn't know how to do it, so he liked that. The guy was clueless. Yeah. So I helped him change the lock on the door. And on second, the selling realtor didn't think the house was going to appraise.
Wow.
So we get the house for $10,000 less than it appraises for. And she says to me, I could have sold that for $10,000 more. I didn't think it was going to appraise. And I said, maybe you should do your due diligence because the data is there and look it up and look out for the best interest of your client. Because now who won? I won for my client. I got my client $10,000 less because somebody didn't understand the market. And it was twofold, but that was part of the reason we got it, because they said, oh, we don't think it's going to appraise for any more than that. Well, I mean, guys, she left money on the table for her seller. And if you're hiring a realtor and you're paying commissions, you really want to leave money on the table? These are little things. And again, it's due diligence and that fiduciary right to your client that you're looking out for their best interest at all. I think it's that serious. Like I can clown around with everybody when it comes out to, because if you entrust us with 39,000 realtors out there, right? So with this social media marketing, we're trying to bring more awareness, but we're skilled professionals. And I was trained under a guy that is in the business 60 some years now. Like, we're old school, well-trained. We know the business, and we're going to put you in the best position to succeed with your transaction. And that's what we need to show people, because some people, it's like any business. There's different levels of professionalism. And again, it comes down to personality matches and stuff like that. A full vendor list we help people with. So these are the things we're trying to articulate through the social media to our clients. And this is why, go ahead, Hub.
Okay. So the thing is they're in Nashville, you're in Philly area, and you can make this work because if you do a live stream, Bay has reaction videos. He can do comments, and Coco, they can do comments on those videos.
Right.
You could give them a script or things that you want them to mention on the house that you're showing or whatever, and it could be a reaction video to your video, but you're going to tell them what you want them to talk about in that house.
Oh, I like
that. This is across all the platforms as far as
but see, if it's a live stream, you can cut that into clips.
Right.
You see, but here's the other thing. We're going to get back to a music analogy, and that is that you've got these ideas, but you're going to go play music, but you ain't got no songs. Okay, so you got a band, and you're going to go out and play Carnegie Hall, but you ain't. The only way to get to Carnegie Hall is by practice, and you got to have songs. You got to practice. You got to get the songs. You ain't got songs, you ain't got nothing. And so the song is the idea. What are your shorts and what are your videos going to be about?
Right.
Right. And that's a key for anybody, right? And you really have to do some due diligence in making sure that content is what people are looking for, right?
I got a few lists right here of topics that videos are about.
Yeah,
real estate.
What I was doing definitely last night. I was doing that. Like I have lists, and then you have to, like Hub said, definitely write out scripts, especially if we're going to do the real estate thing, because we don't want to just like wing it.
Right. You don't want to wing anything.
Right.
Yeah, because that's part of.
Right.
You got to have a plan. Any what they say is any old plan is better than no plan at all.
Right.
And every time I used to interview for places, I was always well prepared. And that's key.
Right.
Being prepared and bringing ideas and then have that open dialogue to see what's working and what's not working.
Right.
Yeah. And that's hard for people too, because they want to think they have already got it made and they don't need improvement. And
well, listen,
we're smarter than that.
Go ahead, Bane, and I'll dovetail what Hub said.
Also, too, I mean, something that I've just learned recently with this StreamYard from doing my reaction channel, we're able to, like Hub is saying, do a live stream on here through StreamYard, but it also has the technology to, I can close the three of us out or put, us in a corner and pull up a listing to a house. Or if we have like a walkthrough video, I could play that walkthrough video and we could talk over. There's all these things that can be done on here.
Why do we think the consumer prefers this medium right now? What is drawing people away from traditional marketing and advertising to this social media medium? Is it the entertainment?
Because it's available.
Yeah, and the instant availability. Is that your thought?
It's like, why do people go through the drive-through at McDonald's more than they go eat in the dining room there?
All right, so
because they can do it.
Right.
You want a story on? I'm coming back home the other day. My son likes Chick-fil-A. I said, well, the line's not bad. I'm going to stop at Chick-fil-A, right? So there's only one lane open. I pull around. It's already busy. I'm probably 6, 7 deep. Usually you're 20 deep, but pull around the line. Doesn't the guy open the other lane after I'm already in the one lane? Those 4 cars go up past me, and I got to wait another 20 minutes to get. I said, never again with this Chick-fil-A, because I see it. And we're wrapped around the building 3 times. I mean, it's crazy. That place took off. That's wild. I mean, their marketing is genius. I mean, every single Chick-fil-A is wrapped around the building 3 times. I mean, it's a traffic hazard.
Yeah.
$50 I spent, so it's not cheap. $50 for 4
It's not cheap at all.
Yeah, it's not cheap. It's not.
So what do they do to differentiate? I don't see many ads on TV. Good quality product, right? Like Hub said, right? Always professional. You say thank you. They always respond. They're well trained.
They're also extra friendly.
Their employees always say, "My pleasure."
Yes, and talk about scripts. They learn how to respond to what you said. Like I had to give the guy a little grief because he opened up another lane. I had to sit there. And he didn't break his script. He was polite and he stayed on track.
Yeah,
so,
they're always so nice and polite. It's crazy.
And I think, correct me, doesn't that make a difference? People go there because they like the food, right? They like the atmosphere. They come around and give you refills, right? What's the little things that differentiate Chick-fil-A, say Wendy's or anybody else?
Right.
This is what everybody's trying to do. And Chick-fil-A seems to have mastered that.
Absolutely. They have.
What if you look at all the different topics of the different real estate channels, and you can use a little bit of this guy and a little bit of this guy and a little bit of this guy, and you put it together and you start coming up with your own thing.
Absolutely.
That's what the pop musicians do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I absolutely, like when you talk about song, I used to be a songwriter, and my producer would be like, write a song like Janet Jackson. So you don't copy it, but you just take from it a little bit. You know, you
learn
what they did, and then you do it your own spin on it.
Exactly.
So I tell people that with the real estate. So every transaction is different. So you learn from every transaction and you build on it, and you lend those experiences when you need them. Right. You know, I said, my old broker used to say, hey, I got this scenario. I would tell him, and he would say, hey, back in '86, you know, Mary Simmons, I had that same situation with her, and this is the way we handled it. So you kind of need to kind of lend on your past experiences to have that information in your toolbox, so you can bring it out when you need it, you know, to try to further things, you know, in different segments. And I think that's kind of, all that stuff has to be compiled so you can present a good product through social media.
Yes.
Yeah, you use and when you're being a songwriter, you don't throw anything away, because you never know when you're going to use something. You could have a chorus here that you had from 5 years ago, and you're going to add it to your new song.
That's true.
I think Coco should write a jingle. Humans over.
Listen, I love a jingle. So I worked with this guy at Strawbridge's. I was a manager of electronics, stationery, candy, and luggage, and he ran our shoe department. And he worked there for the benefits, and his family wrote jingles. I don't know if my wife's listening. I love a jingle. NJN, I love it. I love the jingles because it keeps the brand awareness top of mind.
Yeah.
Forget which one. A lot of the NJN I love, with the mascot, and we don't want a mascot. If it's catchy and people are drawn to it, you know, you get business from that. You might not even be a good realtor, but if you have a catchy channel, you're getting business because people like you. They like your content.
Yeah.
And they kind of want to meet you. They kind of want to do business with you.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coco, like when you watch these videos, what topics did you see? Did you get a list?
I have my list inside. I was looking at one of the channels, she was just like using the TikTok. This was just for TikTok last night that I was doing. She was using TikTok trends. Are you familiar with TikTok?
No.
So there's these trends.
I've seen your shorts. I've seen your short videos.
Oh, right. Well, I don't put all of the TikToks on YouTube. I'll send you our YouTube channel. I mean, on TikTok. But anyway, they're taking the trends and applying them to the houses that they're selling. I'd have to show. I'll send it to you because you have to see.
Can you brief example? A little bit of example?
Like, okay. This girl did a video that I thought was cool. This house that she was selling had a secret passageway. So there's a trend with that has to do with people's houses. Like, what's the coolest thing in your house that you just bought? So she had these a couple houses that she was selling that had one underneath the refrigerator. There was a door, and then underneath was this really cool game room. And I was like, that's really cool and interesting. And then I kept looking through her videos for videos like that, because I think that's really, that's something interesting that
draws people's attention.
Yeah. And then also a real estate guy, I'll send it to you guys. He was giving tips on kind of like what you said, almost like somebody, he brought a client in and they didn't like the kitchen because the cabinets were old wood. And he was like, he's like, haha. And then he made this flash and was like, I'm going to teach my clients what they can do, because they were on a budget. So they're like, we can't have a contractor come in and redo these cabinets. And so he's like, you can do it. So he went through a tutorial of how to rip the cabinets out and repaint them and put them back up yourself. It's not as hard as you think. You can buy a fixer-upper house and do it yourself. And it was really cool because he talked about how this family that he sold to bonded over it. Like the husband and wife, they learned how to do all these great things and they upgraded. They put like crown molding. So I thought that was really interesting because they taught, like, I was like, I want to do that. I don't even own this house. But I'm like, let's start ripping out the cabinets.
And it's even good for people in this market that are looking to buy and flip or value add, you know, in this market as well.
Yeah. I thought that was really interesting. A lot of them are doing that, like telling you how to upgrade a house, not to like give up on it, because it's either like another couple was like, well, it's either we buy this or we can't buy anything. Because like that's
honestly, Coco, it's a great way to wrap this up. That's where we're at in this market because stuff is so overpriced. And we made that point where people aren't buying stuff if they think it needs too much work. But if you could bring some insight, not overstep and say, hey, you could do this and this, and you probably could do it on a budget or bring your contractor in, we put the offer in, you know, that could really help people. That information could really help people make a decision on getting into the house.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was cool. Especially
so we're at 6:52. Hub, you got a final thought?
Well, when do we end? After an hour? Is that right?
No, we're done. We're wrapping up, Hub. Believe it or not,
we
had so much fun on this show. people lose their interest. Not when you're on, Hub. Hey, listen, we had excellent. I got my glasses in my hand. We had excellent views last month with Hub on because he brought so much insight. And that's why we're going to bring Hub on from time to time because we just enjoy his information and having him on. But I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, whatever holiday you celebrate. You know, I appreciate everybody. Hub, your friendship, the information you give us. You know, Bay, we've been doing this over a year together. We did some stuff last year with some advertising. We're going to continue, like we said, with Coco this year. New content, fresh content. And my job is to get you to know who we are and the quality work that we're going to bring to your real estate transaction. I honestly take things real serious. I honestly think that we're different. We're better. And it's a confidence level that I have in my ability, the people that train me. You can't do anything without help. All these people, we just had a little Christmas party at the Reading Royals. We had a lot of fun. We had 30 people. It was a great day. And just a thank you to everybody that's helped us get to. I can't do it alone. I mean, all these people that are involved, really, even Hub from a distance, that give us information to help us be better and help our clients get into the home and rental, a home, or investment property, a commercial property. So we're looking forward to 2023. We're going to have a good guest hopefully in January. And guys, we're going to wrap it up. Hub, thank you, buddy. We're going to have you on again. Coco and Bay, I'll stay on a minute. We'll have a brief discussion after we come off the air here. But Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see everybody in January.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Nice meeting you again, Coco.
Nice to meet you. I hope we get to talk more. I want to hear all your ideas and everything. So let's get on that.
I did send you a friend request a long time ago.
Come on, Hub.
Look at this. Hub sent you a friend request and you didn't accept it, Coco. That's what he's telling me.
I'm talking about a couple years ago.
When?
A
couple years ago.
On where?
On Facebook.
Oh, I'm not on Facebook anymore.
Yeah. She must have had an account and didn't bother to look.
I did have an account, but I honestly hate Facebook. It's very negative. To me, it's like people go on there, they're like, oh, I don't feel good. Nobody loves me. It's like too.
It does draw you down. Yeah, it does drag you down.
Facebook is the worst one, in my opinion. Like, it's just like people searching for attention for the wrong reasons. I don't know.
Okay, so how do people contact Coco?
Instagram. Or just text me. I'll give you my number. Write it down. Are we off air?
No.
All right, we'll see you in January.
Okay. See you then. Thank you very much.
Good night, everybody.
Good to see y'all.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, let's end this.
Okay. I like StreamYard. It's good. Good platform.
They